Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow cohort, Mr. Chip Chirimbus of ChipWins.com. This is our NFL free pick segment. Before we get to that, Chipper, how you doing?
I'm just wonderful as long as I don't have to play the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. I mean, my bubble has burst. I think I had a female impersonator giving out my games last week because on Sunday I had my streak of 5 straight winners in the NFL with my top play. Had the Steelers jump out to a 7-0 lead, and you know what? After that, it was all over. This team can't run the ball, Ross. They're averaging less than 50 yards a game, and I know Roethlisberger's taking a lot of heat. And maybe he should, but how's he going to do anything when they're averaging 50 yards a game? He is a little bit slower, and he doesn't move as well as he has in the past. But I'm going to put that one on the shelf for a while. We did come out with New England, and we had a few other winners on Sunday. But that big game is always so disappointing when you're called the A play and you don't win it.
Yeah, I think Big Ben is at the end of his line. It's well documented, and I watched that game intently last week, because I also had Pittsburgh, and what jumps out at me, Chip, I mean, he's got weapons on the outside, okay? Right. He missed a couple guys that were Juju Schuster. I think he missed twice on long plays where he was wide open for a touchdown. So he just doesn't have the arm strength he used to have. He used to be not the most mobile quarterback, but he had good pocket presence, and once in a while could scamper for 7-8 yards and get a first down and keep a drive alive. And he just looks lost right now. And, the other thing too is the offensive line of Pittsburgh. I mean, I think a lot of people ignored the fact that they did an overhaul on their offensive line this year, and 2 rookies are starting, and it's not working out very well. Pittsburgh struggled to run the ball last year as well. And when the Steelers are at their most effective is over the years, I should say, is they have a strong running game, which sets up play action pass, and their defense is very good. Well, their defense is still pretty good, but the problem is that they're not getting any support from their offense, Chip. They're just not scoring any points.
And the key play of the game, and I'd like to hear your opinion on it, was the blocked field goal return for a touchdown, which was negated because of the offsides. And they've been disputing whether it was offsides or not. What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, I think that I don't know if it was offside or not. Yeah. I know that when the guy that they have his commentary on the replays on the broadcast, which is a former official, didn't think it was warranted. And I think where the officials got swayed is they thought, well, there's no way these 2 guys could have got in this quick, especially the guy coming off the edge.
Right.
And you just can't assume a call. You have to see it. You know what I mean?
And I'm still waiting to see. It's part of the game. It happens often, but I was really wondering about that. I said, well, that was the key play for us. And maybe they would have lost the game, and we could have got in under the number.
But momentum's a big thing, right, Chip? So I mean, that right there, it turns the momentum, and it ended up being a 10-point swing. And not to make any excuses, but
I was very surprised the number came down by game time as well, because by the time it went off, Pittsburgh was getting 5.5, and I thought they'd be getting 6.5 or 7 by game time. So I was a little taken back by that, and I got a little leery. But when the Steelers scored that first touchdown on the first drive, 4.5 minutes into the game, I said, way to go, Chipper.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They called the offside, like I alluded to, on the guy coming off the edge, where he really didn't, if he indeed went offside, didn't have to, because the guy coming up the middle broke it clean. He's the one who snuffed out the kick, not the guy coming off the edge. So it happens. Sometimes we're victims of bad calls. I'm not sure that was a bad call. It might have been debatable. You know what I mean? Right. Yep. And sometimes we're beneficiaries of that as well. So calls like that all even out. I know everybody wants to say it's a conspiracy. I'm jinxed. It always goes against me, but you don't remember the ones. It's just human nature. You don't remember the ones that go your way like that. So,
like the pass interference in the end zone with no time left, and then all of a sudden you're running in for the backdoor cover. I mean, it's happened. It's happened a number of times.
Absolutely. So anyway, Kansas City and Buffalo this week, by the way, Chipper, Sunday night. We're not going to be covering that game as a free pick, but looking forward to that matchup. As you can see, I got the Buffalo Bills Stadium behind me, Highmark Stadium. Kansas City's defense is really worrisome to me because, they got the offense to overcome that, but you can't keep giving up 30 points a game and over 400 yards a game. And
they gave up a bundle to the Eagles, who, they can't score at all. I mean, I don't see any offense out of that team.
In Buffalo, I mean, let's not get carried away with their defensive statistics right now. Now, having said that, they're definitely a good defensive team, much better than they were a year ago and 2 years ago, for that matter. However, I mean, look at the quarterbacks they've faced so far. Okay, they faced Davis Mills last week. The kid doesn't belong starting in the NFL right now. They faced Roethlisberger. They faced Taylor Heineke. And then against Miami, they knocked Tua out on the first drive of the game, and they played against Jacoby Brissett for virtually the whole game. So now they're going to be facing Patrick Mahomes. This will be a true test. So again, I don't mean to make light of their defensive accomplishments so far, but this week will determine whether they're an elite defense or not. So in any event, Chipper, free pick in the NFL. What do you got for us?
I got an interesting game. 2 3-1 teams. Browns coming off a big win against a rival. And of course, the Chargers coming off a big win against a rival on Monday night. We saw that. But both these teams have one thing in common, is they play great defense. Cleveland's number 2, only allowing 256 yards a game. Chargers are number 9, which is still among the top 10, and they're only allowing 332 yards. And if Cleveland does what they're supposed to do, and they lead the NFL in rushing, and if they continue to do that, they're going to eat up a lot of clock. So I expect this game to stay under the total. The Chargers have been under 5 of the last 6 against winning teams. As a dog, the dog in this game has won 7 in a row, but that was, of course, before the Chargers became one of the better teams, and the Browns were pitiful as well for such a long period of time. But the under at home for the Chargers, be it where they're playing in SoFi or wherever they may have been, is 21-8 to the under. Yeah. I think it's the only way it can really go right now with this game. I don't see a lot of scoring. Chargers went under against the Raiders, and I sat here and made a mistake last week and told you that I thought it would go over with their big offenses, but we got caught on Monday night with that one. So that's the way it goes in professional sports, and this one I think stays under the total for solid reasons.
Yeah, I mean, and keep in mind too, folks, San Diego is very good defensively, but if LA? I said San Diego, didn't I? LA, at least I didn't say Redskins. Anyway, the LA Chargers are very good defensively, but if they do have a vulnerability defensively, it's stopping the run. And unfortunately for the Raiders last Monday night, they had to abandon the run because they fell behind by 21 points real early on. But having said that, that was a Raiders team that was number 1 in total offense going into that game, averaging well over 400 yards a game, and a quarterback that was leading the league in passing, and Derek Carr. And they just shut down their passing game and held the Raiders to 160 yards total offense, Chip. Yeah,
I'm impressed by both these teams, by what I've seen this year. The Browns are much improved, and the Chargers with Herbert look like they can be a contender, even in that tough AFC West.
Yeah, the Browns are, I think, number 2 in the league in sacks on defensively. So, yeah, it looks like a really good game, and I can't disagree with going under the total in that one. Anyway, I'm going to take a look at – I'm going to try to keep it simple here. If you've been following me over the years, I don't like to state the obvious. Well, I'm going to state the obvious here. New England's at Houston. The Patriots are -8.5. 2 rookie quarterbacks. Big difference between the 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, I believe so.
Davis Mills had all of 12 starts Now, you could say the same thing for Mac Jones, but Mac Jones played at Alabama and didn't get the start till he was a senior because Tua was ahead of him. And before that was Jalen Hurts. So having said that, this Davis Mills is just overmatched right now. I don't want to say he's terrible because he should be put in a situation, Chip. You know what I mean?
Yep, not ready.
So, yeah, in Houston, the last 2 weeks, they're averaging 4.5 points per game and 151 yards of offense per game. New England loses to Tampa Bay last week, but it wasn't because of their defense. It was because of their inability to run the ball. In their defense, with no pun intended, most teams can't run the ball against Tampa Bay. Now, there's a reason why they've been number one against the run for the last 3 years. This is still a very good New England defense. They're only allowing 17.5 points per game and a little over 300 yards per game. Look, it's New England's 1-3 right now. Buffalo's playing Kansas City. If they have any aspirations to get back in this AFC East race, they have to win this game. Okay. Not only win, but I think they need a confidence builder where they win a game by a lopsided margin. And I think they're set up to do this here. And at 1-3, Chip, as Yogi Berra would say, it's getting late early. So the New England Patriots minus the 8.5 on the road at Houston. And Chip Chirimbus likes the Chargers and Browns game to go under the total. Those are our free picks for Sunday. That would be Sunday. Today is the 6th, I believe the 10th of October. Yes. And Chip, before we go, where could the folks find you? What do you got going on, buddy?
All right. Our Fab Five last week was 2-3, but we did bail everyone out with New England on Sunday night. And I'll tell you, it was our first losing week in 6 weeks in the NFL, and we had 5 straight winning weeks. And I'm looking for a big comeback week here with our Fab Five. We've already circled a number of games. You and I have discussed this, and we've got X's and squares and checks all over the place. But I feel really confident what's going on. It's our time of the year right now. It's October. We have a little resume from these teams and past performances we can guide ourselves with. And of course, there's always the bookmaker handing us these gifts sometimes with these numbers. I'm looking to win big time Sunday. So don't hesitate to go to chipwins.com or write to me at chip@chipwins.com. And we'll sit there and we'll give a VIP package. Maybe you just want the NFL or just college. And thank God the Yankees are out. And
like I said, even if they do make it, Chip, I think they're a one and done. And that's exactly what happened. Right. I'm coming off a bad week in the NFL. I'm coming off a bad week in college football. Look, I beat on my chest when I win, but I'm very transparent as well. And I could tell you this, that after coming off a bad week, 2 bad weeks in college football, by the way, but it was my first losing week in the NFL. I'm going to come back strong this week. There's a reason why I've been doing this long, and it's not because I string losing weeks together consistently. So anyway, you could find me at rbwins.com. You can call me direct, 781-571-0299. Like Chipper, you could find his phone number right at his website, chipwins.com. Neither one of us hire any salespeople or employ any salespeople, I should say. So you'll talk to us and us only. And folks, have your credit card out. Don't have time to shoot the breeze with you. Maybe someday in the future we can, but I don't know about Chip, and I'm not looking for any new friends at this stage in my life. And if we develop a friendship over the years, that's fine. But it ain't going to happen with one phone call. So
I'm looking for a friend.
Well, you got me, buddy. You got me.
I know. I appreciate that, but you're in the great white north up there.
Hey, man, very proud of that too. Anyway, until the next time, for Chip Chirimbus, I'm Ross Benjamin. Take care. God bless and good luck, folks.